In the sweltering, tradition-bound landscape of Union Springs, Alabama, Judge Stone emerges as a searing and timely legal thriller that marks an explosive collaboration between master storyteller James Patterson and EGOT-winning actress Viola Davis. The narrative centers on Judge Mary Stone, a black woman of formidable intellect and unshakable integrity, who balances the heavy responsibilities of the bench with the daily labor of her family farm. Mary is a pillar of her small community, known for hosting Saturday morning breakfasts for the impoverished and presiding over her courtroom with a fierce judicial activism that brooks no disrespect. However, her reputation and her conscience are put to the ultimate test when she is assigned a case that threatens to set the entire South ablaze: the trial of Dr. Bria Gaines. The doctor is charged with a Class A felony under Alabama's strict anti-abortion laws for performing a procedure on Nova Jones, a 13-year-old girl who was the victim of a brutal assault. Patterson and Davis masterfully utilize the claustrophobic tension of small-town life to explore a moral dilemma where the law is open and shut, but the ethics are a jagged battlefield. As the trial draws national attention, Mary becomes the target of a multifaceted pressure campaign. She is squeezed between an arrogant district attorney seeking a maximum sentence, local religious leaders attempting to shame her into recusal, and even the Alabama governor, who threatens to deploy the National Guard. The prose is lean and propulsive, characteristic of Patterson's pacing, yet imbued with a raw, grounded emotional depth that bears Davis's signature touch. The narrative alternates between Mary's first-person perspective and third-person accounts from secondary characters, creating a panoramic view of a community divided by post-Roe realities and the resurfacing ghosts of its racial past. This isn't merely a courtroom drama. It is a visceral interrogation of the justice available to the most vulnerable and the personal cost of maintaining moral clarity in a world of political compromise. The audiobook, narrated by Davis herself, elevates the material into a riveting performance, where every contempt of court threat and moment of private grief is felt with staggering intensity. It is a story about the weight of the robe and the strength of a woman who refuses to be a pawn in a larger ideological war. By the time the final verdict is rendered and the dust settles in Bullitt County, you will realize that Judge Stone is a definitive triumph of contemporary fiction, a shimmering and necessary map of a world struggling to reconcile its ancient prejudices with the demands of modern humanity.